Welcome. I guess I could blab for a minute before. I'm getting set up on Insight Timer. So if you guys are here on YouTube, oops, bear with me. And if you're watching the replay, just skip ahead like 3 minutes because I hit go live a few minutes early. But I am going on Insight Timer, and I'm going to be live on Insight Timer, and we're going to be pulling some oracle cards for the 369 portal. So let me read you the Insight Timer description so you can know what we're about to talk about. So I called this Unlocking the 369 Code, Oracle Insights for Creation, Growth, and Completion. Today, March 24th, 2025, marks the third 369 energy portal of the month, amplifying the cycle of creation, expansion, and completion. The numbers 3, 6, and 9 represent the universal flow of energy, where ideas are formed, nurtured, and brought to completion. In this live session, we will explore the significance of 369 as a manifestation key, then turn to the oracle cards to gain deeper insight into 3, the number of creation, what new energy is emerging in your life, 6, the energy of expansion, what needs to be nurtured or aligned for growth, and then 9, completion, which cycle is closing, and what wisdom is being integrated. Through this reading, we will decode the personal and collective themes of this portal, helping you align with its frequency to manifest with greater clarity and intention. This is an opportunity to tap into universal cycles, deepen self-awareness, and use the 369 energy as a tool for transformation and manifestation. So if you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to be looking at my other screen because I'm streaming on Insight Timer. I am only looking at the comments on Insight Timer, so I'm not going to be paying attention really to what's going on over here. This is just so you can hang out. But if you want to go to insighttimer.com or download the app, I'm going to be there as well, unless you're watching the replay. I intend to bring my highest self to meet with the highest selves of everybody present during today's 369 reading. Awesome. All right, and away we go. Welcome, everybody. How are you all doing? Feel free to hop in the chat and say hello. Let us know how you're doing today. Let us know where you are joining from. I am joining from Florida. I'm dog sitting right now in Florida. Wonderful opportunity, wonderful experience. I have 5 dogs that I'm watching. The owners took the other 5 with them in their RV. It's been a wonderful experience so far. So I'm excited to bring this warm energy to talk about the 369 portal with you guys today. Greetings, Christine. Nice to see you. Hi, Trina. Becky says hi from Washington. Pretty place. Adriana, good morning and happy Monday. Yes. If this is your first time with me, my name is Jackie Mancuso. At this time, I guess I'm just a nomad free spirit, spiritual teacher, girly. I don't know. We're here to do oracle cards today. I'm in a bit of a transition with my work and my career and my stuff. So I don't know how to define myself, but today we're gonna pull oracle cards for manifestation. Jenny, hello. Love your t-shirt. Thank you. Thank you. Carrie, hello Jackie and all beautiful people. AJ, hello beautiful friends. Hello Jackie. Yes, this is a nice place. Does it sound okay? Is the pool like too loud? It doesn't even, I'm not gonna move, so if it is, I'm sorry, we just have to deal with it. April says it's Grace. It's great. AJ sounds nice. Awesome. Goddess, grand day to everyone. Lovely. Well, today is considered a 369 portal because we are in March, which is the 3rd month, If you add, today's the 24th, so you add 2 plus 4, you get 6. 2025, if you add those three numbers, you get 9. So 369. This is the third 369 portal of March. We had one on March 6th, we had one on March 15th, and today's the third one. So my apologies for not doing this sooner. This is just when it all worked out. But I wanted to use this energy of 369 to see how we can manifest in our lives. What is being created? How do we need to nurture it? And what is this creation bringing to completion? So Nikola Tesla, I didn't do any research for this or any preparation, I'm just winging it. Nikola Tesla is the one who brought up the number of 369. And he was saying that if you think of the world in terms of vibration and frequency, you have unlocked the secret to life. 369, I actually just came across a TikTok video the other day where this guy did a whole bunch of math. And the numbers 369 are these magical numbers. I would say that 9 in itself is the most magical number. And we are in a 9 year, so I would expect some really cool things this year. But essentially what this guy did is he took each number and then he wrote horizontally, counting up by that number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 16, you know, and so on and so forth. And then he reduced each double-digit number down. So for example, 3, 6, 9, 12. So 12 comes down to 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 reduces to 6, so on and so forth. And the numbers 3, 6, and 9, when you count by numbers 3s, when you count by 6, and when you count by 9, the numbers 3 and 6, they all reduce down so that the pattern is 369, 369, or 639, 639. So it's just this like magical repetition of those numbers. The other numbers, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8, when you count up by them, you get this like interesting pattern of numbers. It's gonna be wrong, but it's like 1, 7, 8, 4, 2, whatever. So 369. They all count, or 3 and 6 count by 369. 9, everything reduces down to 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Then the rest of the numbers, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, they each have a pair where the numbers that they add up to are inverse of another number. And then you add those numbers together and you just get consistently 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. So there is magic in the way that our math system is set up, in the way that our numbers are set up. This is why sacred geometry is so magnificent in this reality. You can learn a lot from geometry. That's why I love astrology, because it's all geometry. But anyway, I digress. Today, 369 portal, we're gonna pull some oracle cards to use the numbers 3, 6, and 9 to see what is naturally coming for us. What I learned recently, one of the biggest lessons I've learned within the last week as I've been on this vacation, I did some journaling about the biggest blessings that have come in my life recently. And I listed things like this paid dog sitting trip in Florida, so I'm getting paid to be on vacation with 5 dogs. I wrote about, I'm going to Peru next month. I'm going to be in Peru for 2.5 weeks, and I already had this amount of money set aside for a 3-day retreat in Illinois, and now I'm going to Peru for 2.5 weeks on the same budget. I wrote about that, and I wrote about some other things in my life. And what I recognized is that all of the things that I'm currently the most grateful for, I asked specifically for 0 of them. I did not ask the universe, please give me a dog sitting opportunity in Florida. No, I just want to travel. And so the universe says, here, your friend needs a dog sitter, go there. I wasn't asking for a specific Peru retreat. Like I never wrote down that this is what I want, yet the things that have come to me are the things that I am the most genuinely grateful for right now. So it sort of switched my mindset on how pinpointed I've been with my manifestations. And I'm learning that when you do actually allow yourself to flow and you accept the great things that are coming to you, it makes life that much more simple and beautiful, because things are coming to me that I didn't even know to ask for. I'm just going with the flow. I'm going with the natural cycles. So how I want to take this reading today is I want to pull one card for each number. I'm going to pull a card for 3, I'm going to pull a card for 6, and I'm going to pull a card for 9. And I'm going to use Denise Linn's Soul Coaching Oracle deck. So we'll pull a card for the number 3. 3 represents creation in numerology. So I'm going to ask these cards what new energy is available for us. What new energy is already in our lives that is most susceptible to allowing us to walk our highest paths, okay? Then I'll pull a card for number 6. 6 is about expansion, and 6 is about nurturing, bringing everything into harmony. So for card number 6, we're gonna ask what is aligned for growth. So what energy of creation is already here? How is it aligned for growth? What kind of nurturing does it need? And then we'll pull a card for 9. 9 is all about completion. In numerology, we just use the numbers 1 through 9, and then the cycle starts over again. So 9 will ask what cycle is closing so that we can step into this new energy of the 3, okay? So forget how I do my normal oracle card readings. We're just gonna use Denise Linn's Soul Coaching deck, and we're gonna pull a card for 3, what is beginning, a card for 6, what needs to be nurtured, and a card for 9, what is coming to a close. April says, I love Peru many times and always a different journey, and opening myself up for what will move me into newness. I like that. I like that. By the way, happy Aries season. I don't think I've seen you guys since we had our Zodiac New Year. We are also in the middle of eclipse season, so this is a very potent time for starting new things, nurturing what you've already been working towards. We already had the lunar eclipse, we already had the full moon, what we're closing. That was in Virgo, so that's all about letting go of the freaking details. And we're about to have a new moon solar eclipse in Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac. It's a new moon, it's the first lunar event in this zodiac year. It's a gosh darn eclipse. We got some powerful stuff going on right now. So energy of 3, energy of 6, and energy of 9. I'm going to only ask for 1 card at a time today. Sometimes I allow 2 to fall out at a time. And of course, like 15 fall out as I say that. And this is a very rocky chair. Hope I don't fall over. I won't fall over. Karma, freaking retrograde, card 3, creation, new energy. What is being created? What is already created within our existence? Where is our new energy the most potent for creation? Can someone type that in the chat? Where is our energy most potent for creation? Okay, cool. So I got that one. Card 6, expansion. Expansion. What needs to be nurtured for this new energy? Woo! Okay. Can someone type that? Where, what needs to be nurtured for this new energy? What needs to be nurtured for this energy? And then a card for 9, completion. Which cycle is closing? And what wisdom needs to be integrated right here? Nope, I want 1 card, please. Which cycle is closing? And what wisdom needs to be integrated here? Thank you, Jenny and Christine, for typing those. Which cycle is closing and what wisdom needs to be integrated here? Thank you, Jenny. Woo. I guess a lot of cycles are closing. Which cycle is closing? What wisdom needs to be integrated here? This is for everybody present on Insight Timer and YouTube. Beautiful. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So, are eclipses a good time to manifest or should we rest? Both. Quick thing about manifestation. I just heard this last night from Bashar. Bashar is a being who is channeled. Bashar was giving a talk about how do I become a better manifester? How do I manifest? How do I refine my manifestation? And his matter-of-fact response is that there is no way to stop manifestation. You have been manifesting since the day that you were born. You have a life around you. You created all of this. You created the way that you look, you created your relationships, you created your family, you created your experience in school, you created your job, you created everything that you have. So there is no need to say, I am manifesting, because you are. There's no way to stop it. So at eclipse season, is it a good time to manifest or a good time to rest? Eclipses do bring up a huge rush of energy. We started this season with a full moon lunar eclipse, so lots of emotions came up to be processed. Use your intuition above my advice 100% of the time, because I'm just giving you my life experience. But full moons tend to bring up a lot of emotions, so I would say that that would be a good time to rest, a good time to just sit with your shit, cry it out, feel it, let the energy move through you. And then at the solar eclipse, which is on the 29th, at the new moon solar eclipse, that's a time to get crystal clear on what it is that you are desiring right now. Because we are manifesting 24/7, so the more clear you can get on which feeling you would like to feel, that will help. I hope that makes sense. So, thank you, Jenny and Christine, for typing the questions in the chat. Card number 1 is for the number 3. Where is our energy most potent for creation? Where is our energy most potent for creation? And today, this is card number, I'm going to show it over here really quick, card number 52. The message is wisdom. The cup of wisdom is being presented to you. Listen to the coincidences, signs, and synchronicities around you. Watch for messages from your angels and guides. Enlightenment is growing within you in mysterious ways and beyond your awareness. Sit on the earth and allow her wisdom to fill you. Your wisdom has not only come from your joyous, carefree times, it's also bloomed from your failures, your deflated dreams, and simply wrong turns in life. Cherish every experience, for all of it has deepened your wisdom, compassion, and understanding. Also, know that there's an innate wisdom within you, always. It's simply a matter of being still and turning within in order to access it. Sometimes you may be so focused on the future or what's outside of you that you forget that wisdom is available to you now. This card comes with an affirmation, short and sweet. All I truly need is within me. All I truly need is within me. So where is our energy most potent for creation? whatever nasty stuff you have going on in your life right now, it is imbuing you with deep, deep wisdom. There's always everything happens for a reason, right? And sometimes when we are in the thick of it, when we are in the middle of life falling apart, it's easy to throw your hands up and say like, oh, God doesn't love me. Obviously he doesn't love me. This terrible thing just happened in my life. I just lost my relationship. I just lost my job. I don't know how I'm gonna pay the bills, right? I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And it feels so detrimental. And so here we go with this full moon that we had on the 14th, 15th, 14th. Sit with your shit, process your emotions, feel, allow, and this is still going on. Like, you didn't miss the buck because it's no longer the lunar eclipse, but feel what these situations in your life are making you feel. Allow yourself to sit with the actual emotion, no matter how overwhelming it is. I can't remember exactly when it was. It was a few days around the lunar eclipse. It's been a while since I've had such deep cries. There were 2 or 3 days in a row that I had like wailing, like little kid, deep sorrow cry just coming out. And it sucked. There's a lot of things in my life that are uncertain right now. There's a lot of questions coming in the future. And I allowed myself to just feel the sinking, oh shit. But what comes from that is wisdom. You don't gain wisdom from seeing how easily things go. That is your wisdom guiding you because of the hard times that you've had to go through. So where is our energy most potent for creation? It's gaining wisdom right now. The owl sees in the dark. Sit with your darkness. Megan, hello, haven't logged on in a while. Are you in Florida? Yes, I'm house sitting in Florida right now. What needs to be nurtured for this energy? So this is for number 6. 3 is creation. We are creating wisdom. 6 is expansion. So how do we expand this wisdom? What needs to be nurtured in order for our wisdom to grow? This is card number 23, and the message is freedom. What needs to be nurtured in order to grow wisdom? Freedom. Break free, express yourself, and let your spirit fly. Flaunt your stuff, dance, laugh, explore, and go beyond predictable behavior. Be daring. Fling your arms up to the heavens in joy. You aren't here to be ordinary, but to step beyond limitations and self-imposed boundaries. Don't allow yourself to be trapped by convention or the expectations of others. You have the ability to choose your life on your terms. Replace the phrase "I should" with "I could, but I choose not to at this time." I like that. I'm gonna read that again. Replace the phrase "I should" with "I could, but I choose not to at this time." Perhaps you aren't always free to create the exact circumstances of your life, but you're certainly able to decide what meaning to give those situations. Select meanings that empower you, for this is the time to break free. The affirmation for the freedom card: boundless freedom surges through me. Boundless freedom surges through me. So what needs to be nurtured to earn your wisdom? You don't earn wisdom from following the rules. You don't gain wisdom from doing what your parents did, doing what your older siblings did, doing what the other people that are your inspiration did. You earn wisdom by messing around and finding out, by breaking the rules, by doing what your soul is calling you to do, despite whatever the rules are, despite whatever you should be doing. There's so many things that I should have been doing that didn't feel right to my soul. So I broke away, and that's where I have grown the most, right? I should have a stable job if I want to pay my bills, right? That's not for me. I want to work for myself. I don't want to be told what to do. So what has happened from making that break away from the public school system, I've had some hard times, you know, I've had to experience what it feels like to have uncertainty, but through all of that, I have grown as a person because I followed my freedom. So this is what is happening for everyone here now. You want some wisdom? You want to stop walking around life like a child? I just don't know what to do. I don't know how to get there. Mess around and find out. Let your wild horse run free. Express yourself. Say things that you're feeling. Say it. I'm curious to see how this all closes up, but I want to hear what's coming up for you guys with this so far. What new energy is available to us is the energy of wisdom, and this comes from looking at the stuff that sucks, looking at it, sitting with it. How do you nurture this? You run free. You do what your soul wants to do, not what the rules are, not what society has taught you to do. Card number 9, well, it's card number 3, but it represents the number 9 in 369, and this is what cycle is closing and what wisdom needs to be integrated here. You know what's cool is, okay, so I wrote down from the description, from the Insight Timer description, I wrote down myself a little note, and I wrote down what wisdom needs to be integrated, and that was the energy that's coming in is the energy of wisdom. So this reading is already super freaking aligned. Love it. So which cycle is closing and what wisdom needs to be integrated here? So I'm going to break that down because the word integration to me didn't make sense until Sacred Venison retreats. Integration is the time, the space it takes to process an experience. So what wisdom needs to be integrated? What have you learned from going through negative things in the past that need, like, the remembering? It's time to remember how much wisdom you've earned through negative experiences in the past, difficult experiences in the past, okay? So which cycle is closing and what wisdom needs to be integrated here? This is number 15, and the message is embracing. 15, the message is embracing. Embrace all of your life, both the dark and the light. Dance with your shadow and reclaim parts of yourself that you've denied. Embrace your past and what has been hidden or denied. The path to wholeness is through accepting and embracing all parts of yourself. Every experience you've had, even the ones you thought were bad, was important for your spiritual journey. What you deny in yourself can fester and even control your life. Embrace your darkness because you need every aspect of yourself in order to attain wholeness. Don't suppress your anger, bitterness, or fear to a place where it can grow in the deep recesses of your being. Bring it to the light. Accept and love it all. And the affirmation: I embrace and love all of my life. I embrace and love all of my life. I think this is a beautiful way to end this 369 portion of the reading. What cycle is closing and what wisdom needs to be integrated? It's the cycle of shaming your past. It's the cycle of pushing away parts of yourself that you don't want to admit. What wisdom needs to be integrated? What did you learn from going through that stuff that you didn't want to go through in the past? What have you learned from being a human, from trying things, from trial and error, right? The cycle that is closing is the need to be a perfect human. The cycle that's closing is the need to perform, the need to show the world that you are put together. Tacos fall apart all the time, and we all love tacos. It's okay to fall apart. What is ending is pretending that we're not human, pretending that we have it all, that we know it all. I love admitting to you guys when I don't know something. I love admitting my mistakes to you guys because I don't want you guys to think I'm perfect. That's way too much pressure. That's way too much pressure. I want you guys to see whatever you see in me. I'm a freaking human also. I make mistakes. I make bad decisions, but I'm a masochist for life lessons. People ask me all the time, how are you so wise at your young age? It's because I'm a masochist for life lessons. I will purposefully go in the wrong direction because my soul needs to be free. My soul needs to figure it out for myself. And how have I gained all this wisdom at this young age? I've owned it. I've owned when I've made mistakes. I've owned when I've done something that maybe with my knowledge nowadays, I wouldn't have made that choice. But back then, that was just me exploring my freedom. What's coming up for you guys? What is it that you are, what area of your life is being highlighted right now? Like what chance is coming up? What is this freedom card pulling out of you? What does the owning of it look like, Jackie? Ree, thanks for asking. So this came, I love this lesson of owning it. I'm trying to think, I have a story and I'm trying to think about how to like tie it in. So when I learned how to own it, I was working a retail job and I worked in the back room, so we had a lot of time to just like gossip and hang out. And it was actually the guy that I learned astrology from, and he and I were like gossiping and blah, 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 blah. And I was talking badly about myself, about my past. I would tell him like, ooh, I wish I wasn't so promiscuous in high school. I shouldn't have done that. I wish I would have just focused more on my family and friends and wouldn't have focused so much on getting attention from guys. And he was the one who looked me in the eyes and he's like, Jackie, just own it. Just own it. You did it. That's who you were then. And the faster you own it, the faster you embrace, I've made that mistake. Yes, I did that. You don't have to like boast about it. You don't have to like start every conversation with like, hey, my legs were open all of high school, but now I'm great. That's like over owning it. But owning it, you did it. It happened. I can't change it. This is a coffee cup. I'm owning it. I'm just stating what it is. I'm not trying to tell you that this, don't worry, there's nothing bad in here. This is a cup of coffee, period. I'm owning it. This is my life. I'm owning it. Kelly says, thank you for this offering and your guidance. Will this be on your YouTube? I'm live streaming it on the side right now. So I show the cards real quick, but yeah, the whole vocal part will be on YouTube. Leaving my school district job, Kelly, to create space to focus on offering more yoga and health coaching. Peace sign emoji. That's awesome. That's awesome. That is what your freedom horse is guiding you towards. It's super scary. I did the same thing. I was a PE teacher and I left the system in 2021. It got too weird. I didn't like it. And at the time, I was giving Reiki sessions in my basement. And at the time that I left my job, I had been giving Reiki sessions for like 1 month. I had nothing stable. I had nothing created. And since I did that, I figured it out. I have gained enough wisdom to figure it out. So good on you, Kelly. Follow your passion. It always works out. Nina's been through so much darkness, embracing different life of freedom, travel, and dance the world. That's right, you do a lot of ecstatic dance. On this path with my husband, our 3 boys, and pregnant. I have to learn the hard way, maybe 3 times over. The darkness has allowed my true light to shine. Yes. And actually, ecstatic dance is another place where they encourage dancing with your darkness, right? When you're in that, it's not social dance, but it is, because there's other people there. And the ecstatic dances that I go to, we also integrate something that's called contact beyond contact. It's partner dance. And when ecstatic dance circles are nonverbal, so you are explicitly asked not to speak on the dance floor. It's all an expression with your body, with your energy, with your look, with everything. It's all nonverbal communication. So a lot comes up in people when there's social dancing going on. I've caught myself many times. I think I own this, right? Like, I think I'm the best dancer there all the time. And that's fine, because that's just me for myself, you know? But I dance around, and I get in my head about like, ooh, I bet this person would like to dance with me. And ooh, I see you're watching me over there. You want to dance with me. And then I've had dances where I see like, I want to dance with that person, but all the other girls also want to dance with that person. And I have to hold back, not hold back, but I experience these feelings of like, that's desire and attachment. So what can I do with this? I am experiencing desire and attachment. And then you just kind of dance with it, and you let it move through you, and you go throughout your whole thing. So yeah, the ecstatic dance community is an amazing place to process and hold space for your shadow. I'm on a roll. I really miss being here. We are gonna pull another card to wrap all this up, so don't leave just yet. But man, do I miss being on Insight Timer. There's some changes coming to Insight Timer. I briefly read over Christopher Plowman's LinkedIn article about this, and I know that Lou Redman had Christopher Plowman on his podcast. So if you're unfamiliar, Christopher Plowman is the CEO of Insight Timer, and he is very conscious and aware of all the requests from the teachers on Insight Timer. I actually recently tried to remove myself a little bit so I could go start a YouTube membership, and it was just not aligned. I did not like it. I already closed it down. It's not happening. But to my surprise, Christopher Plowman announced that Insight Timer will, in the future, it will be allowing teachers to charge an amount for their live streams. So don't be surprised if I start doing that. I'm not gonna make it anything ridiculous. I just like to earn an income from my work. So I might charge like $2, $3 to come into my astrology sessions, but just know that that's coming on the forefront. But I just think it's so cool that I had this inspiration of like, all right, it's time to charge for my work. And I tried to do it on a different platform. Didn't work. The platform that I've been with for over 3 years is now like molding to what I desire, right? So I think that's pretty cool. But with that being said, if you guys would like to offer an energy exchange in the form of a donation, if you've gotten any wisdom from this reading so far, donations are always super appreciated. And let's see who else. Ree says, you released the shame and regret you were holding. Was that instantaneous or was that a process? It's hard to say because that was over a decade ago. I do remember, I mean, obviously if I remember that one story, that one day, it made a big impact. And again, that's my life. That's my experience. Just because it worked for me doesn't mean it's gonna work for you, but mess around and find out. Try whatever feels cool to you, and if it's wrong, you'll just grow. You'll just learn from it, you know? Becky says, I've created an identity where I've helped people. Now I want to let that go. I don't know everything. I need to steer my loved ones and students the other way so I can take care of me. Becky, I love that. That is absolutely one of the biggest things that I am here to teach. And I'm struggling right now with the selfishness, and I catch myself talking about it a lot. I'm teaching about it a lot. It's not about being overly altruistic and always giving yourself to others. it can feel super, super selfish to say, no, I can't do that for you because I need to take care of me. When you're so used to giving 120% of yourself to everybody else, any little crumb that you try to take for yourself feels so selfish. So stick around and listen to me more talk about how you have to fill your own cup. You have to take care of yourself. And it's the opposite of selfish, because the more you fill yourself up with love, the more your light expands, and then you don't even have to try to serve. You just are service because you are so light and so expanded. Love it. Annette, the need to be creative. Art makes sense of chaos. I'm taking on a creative project that I never thought I could do. Check you out, Annette. Congratulations. Good job on following your freedom, right? And trying something new. I advise you to embrace everything that may go quote unquote wrong. Anything that doesn't work out the way that you thought it was going to work out, you're going to gain some wisdom from that. So that's amazing. Tressa Marie found out about 369 yesterday. Wow. So good. I'm impressed with myself. That's awesome. That's awesome. If you guys hopped in late, 369 is a magical number for manifestation. 3 is the energy of creation. 6 is the energy of expansion. And then 9 is the energy of completion. So just to recap the 369 reading that we did, and I'm going to pull one more card. What energy is being created right now is wisdom. So if you felt like you've been going through it recently, I would say probably especially the whole month of March, right? We're in the 369 portal because March is the 3rd month. 24th adds up to a 6. 2025 adds up to a 9. So 369. So we are within the month of March. If you've been having some nasty stuff going on, it's because you're opening up to a deeper wisdom in yourself. What needs to be nurtured to expand this wisdom is your freedom. So mess around and find out. Do what your soul wants to do. Stop following what society has programmed you to do. Stop listening to other people's horror stories and allowing it to scare you from what your soul is calling you to do. Please. Please stop letting other people's fear run your joy. That was a little sister. I'm the baby of 10. A lot of my life was my siblings saying like, oh, that's so scary, don't do that. And then I do it myself and I'm like, it's fine because you were afraid of it, not me. And what is closing and what wisdom needs to be integrated in order to gain this more wisdom? The cycle of shaming your past is closing. All the times in the past when you ran free and you made a mistake or you did something wrong, it just brought you wisdom, okay? So we're ending the cycle of shaming ourselves, and the wisdom that needs to be integrated in order to earn more wisdom is maybe it's a time of reflection to look back on all the times that you messed up, but how you've grown from messing up. If you guys have been following me for some time, you know I cut my dad out of my life, and then a year later he died on me. That was a huge mistake. Of course I wouldn't want to cut my, and what did I learn was how precious relationships are. It sucks that that's how I had to learn. Does it suck? I don't know. It wasn't fun, but I learned because I followed my freedom at that time. That was the emotion that I wanted to express is don't talk. I'm done with you. Don't talk to me. You know how much wisdom I've gained from losing my dad that way? My goodness. My goodness. Becky, Ree, Kona, and Sharon, thank you all so much for your donations. They are very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Let's pull one more card. Tressa Marie says, my financial situation will become better. I'll be so glad to make donations. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. That's something that I'm working on in a very, I don't even know what's going on. Currently, I don't have anything like for sale, And I cut off my coaching packages because it's just not feeling right now. And this is kind of what happened when I quit my job. I went through this moment of like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna pay my bills? But I did it once before and something found me, and I'm doing it again. And I actually had some synchronistic thoughts, and I found a bunch of feathers this morning when I was walking the dogs. I have an idea. I have an idea on the 369 day. So we'll see what's coming. We'll see what's coming. But I hear you. I'm on that money journey right now as well. How would I like, so we're creating wisdom by nurturing our sense of freedom so that we can embrace ourselves and own what it is that we've done. And this is like a cycle of wisdom right now. This 369 portal is like a cycle of wisdom. You are earning more wisdom by making friends with the situations that you've already put yourself through that were here to teach you wisdom. So I kind of want to ask, like, what is happening right now that is teaching us more wisdom? What is it that we are experiencing right now that might feel like the worst? I don't want to deal with this, but like, what is it that's happening right now that is teaching us more wisdom? And I was just shuffling the question into the cards. I would like you all to send your energy into this deck. And let's ask, this is for just some peace of mind. What are we going through right now that is intended to bring us more wisdom in our lives? What is it that's happening? Allie, thank you so much for your donation. Very much appreciated. Very, very much. Okay. So this card did come out upright. What is happening right now that is teaching us current wisdom? This is card number 7. The message is Epiphanies at Dawn. I'll show it over on my YouTube stream also. The key concepts of this card: the aha moment, epiphanies, an awakening, something dawning, new ideas, new directions, potential. The way of understanding is not always direct. After struggling with something a while, sometimes you just have to let it go. Then when you stop trying to figure it out intellectually, an epiphany will deliver you from your confusion. Inspiration flows, and you suddenly have the exact understanding you need to move forward with meaning and purpose. These dawning moments of revelation happen because you stop overly focusing on the issues and let your peripheral awareness gather what it needs. It's a skill that most people don't know they have, but it's how we tap into the hidden realms for information. In your current situation, stop trying to figure things out with your mind and self-will alone, and instead surrender to spirit. Ask for your solution and it will come, but only when you let go of the need for the exact timing, form, and manner in which it's delivered. The best way to prepare is to engage in some repetitive, mundane activity. While doing something completely unrelated, you will receive a divine download. Go for a walk, garden, do the dishes, paint, or dance if you're able. You are on the right path now. Trust that Spirit has a plan, and all the answers you need will be gifted to you when you are truly ready to receive them. So I asked, what is happening now that is happening for us to gain wisdom? And I think what's going on is that there's too many mixed messages in the collective right now. So whatever it is that is stressing you out right now, whatever problem you are trying to solve, whatever obstacle you are trying to overcome now, this card is your message that's saying thinking about it will not solve the issue. Forget about it. This is neutral time. This card is saying to spend time in neutral time, which is, it's pretty affirming for me. The thing that I was having click into place this morning, it's something that's been on my mind for a while, like way in the background. And when I was walking the dogs this morning, it was just, it wasn't even my thoughts. It was just, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this. And it all came. That's neutral time. So I've talked about this in the past. We have active, passive, and neutral. There's three ways of time. 369, my gosh. This comes from my spiritual teacher, Mami Onami, and she also teaches an Enneagram system. It is not the personality test Enneagram, it's a system, and 369 is huge in this, so how potent that this is coming out right now. But 369 are the points on the Enneagram that are the active, passive, and neutral. Holy shit. And neutral is 0, 9. 9 is at the top, and this is the third, 369, so it's pretty cool. Okay, so anyway, you have active time, passive time, and neutral time. Active energy is when you are doing something, when you're thinking about something, when you're working, when you're taking what's in your brain and you're putting it out. So right now I am active to you. Y'all are in passive. Right now, y'all are in passive because you are intaking information. You're learning something. You're going to a source to search. Reading is passive. Listening to a podcast is passive. Anything to learn and absorb information. However, neutral time is when you are doing the dishes without any music on, when you're going for a walk, when you're drawing, and you have, I mean, like rhythmic music is fine in the background, but you're not trying to learn anything. You're not listening to a podcast. This is when your epiphanies come. Shower thoughts. That is neutral time. So our biggest wisdom at this time, whatever problem it is that you are going through, it's not going to come by researching. It's not going to come by acting on it. What a concept, right? Your wisdom is going to come through putting it out of your mind, focusing on your joy, taking care of yourself, right? I'm gonna go for a walk because I want the sun on my skin. Poof, now I have this epiphany. So that's our 369 reading. I'm gonna see what else you guys have coming in. Tressa Marie says, pension day on Thursday, e-transfer coming from a gallery. My piece in an exhibition sold. That's awesome. And lo and behold, my deceased parents had investments in the US. The company finally found my brother. I expect the small amount soon. Small is relative, small for my brothers, and medium amount for me. Maybe in sync with 369. That's so exciting, Tressa. Look at all these magical things just showing up. Bev says, this is exactly what has happened to me very recently. I stopped worrying and just let spirit take over. What a shift I had. So grateful. It's common in society, in the culture that many of us grew up with. I am assuming that you guys grew up similar to me. It's normal to be taught that things take action. You gotta work for it. You can't just sit around eating grapes and think that the world's gonna come to you. And I think, at least for me particularly, the concept of work and effort is extremely skewed. It is way wrong for me. What did I just read that triggered this? Stop worrying. Stop worrying, let spirit take over. Yes. So when I've had moments of like, oh, how am I going to get that thing? Because I'm not doing the actions that I was doing in the past that brought me that thing. Of course, fear comes up because I don't know how this is going to happen. Forget fear. Fear of what? Fear of what? You've survived 100% of your hardest days, and maybe you had to go through some hard times, but how much wisdom have you gained from those hard times? Like, you're gonna be taken care of. You always have been taken care of. What was I screaming about with this freedom card? Don't let other people's fear affect your joy. Just because someone else tried something and had a hard time with it, that's their life. That's their path. They have their own karma. They have their own life experience. They have their own personality. If it's something that you want to try because there's a calling within you to just do it, trust and do it, because it's your soul that is telling you to do it. I am very much in a place in my life, and it's been coming out more and more over the last few years, but like, I don't care what anyone else has to say about what I'm doing in my life, because it's my life. It's my life. I'm entitled to it. You are entitled to your life. So do what I say. Just kidding. Oh, just kidding. Erin Marie, if you cling too tightly, you're gonna lose control. Yep, 38 Special. What a great song. What a great song. Debbie, good morning from Arizona. Chantel says, ooh, so relevant to my life at the moment. I've had an issue for months now and tried everything intellectually and behaviorally to help the situation, but nothing is helping. Excuse me. I've been wanting to garden and plant seeds as well since January, but not done it. I'm being told to do this and I'll get the answer. Yes. Pruning plants is one of my favorite things to do when I'm stressed out. When I'm overwhelmed and I don't know what to do, I go to my plants and I prune them. And it's so symbolic of just like letting everything go. Letting everything go. What I just read from Chantel made me think about this effort. It's not to say that you never have to effort, but I think in order to get what we want, I think there's less effort required than we think. It's not about pushing and grinding and putting in all the extra hours to get what you want. It's a flow. You have your intention, you put in some effort, you come up against roadblocks, you see what you can do about those roadblocks, right? To try to like exercise your will. And then you get to a point where you realize there's nothing else I can do. I have to leave it. I have to put it up to the universe. I have to surrender. I have to wait for my epiphany to come. If I've been thinking about this issue for years and I haven't figured it out yet, maybe I need to be shown the answer. Maybe it's not an answer I can find. Maybe I need to wait to be shown. Thank you guys so much for being here. This has been enlightening. I really love doing this work, and I'm excited for the changes that are coming on Insight Timer. Don't know when those changes are coming, but there's a lot going on, and it's awesome. Thank you to everyone who sent support through donations today. They're very much appreciated. If you came in late, if you enjoyed today's session, if you'd like to offer an energy exchange in the form of a donation, you may do so right on Insight Timer. If you're on YouTube, I have links right in the show description for PayPal, Venmo. That's also available on my Insight Timer bio if you guys would rather donate away from the Apple 30% commission. I currently don't have my next Insight Timer session scheduled, and I don't know when that will be. I am going to Peru from April 7th until the 23rd. I have no idea what it's going to be like. Within that, there is a 10-day sacred medicine retreat that I am beyond excited for. In the interim, on my YouTube channel, I have been interviewing people from the spiritual community. I do that about once a week, either on Wednesdays or Fridays. At 1 o'clock Central is the time that I try to get my guests on there. So you can watch, there's a playlist called Spiritual Community Chats if you want to see the cool people I've talked to. I've talked to an angel Reiki practitioner. I've talked to Max, my astrologer friend, who, that's right, update. We were supposed to meet on March 26th again, but Max has a whole bunch of gibbity gobbity going on in his life, like always. I love that guy. So we couldn't do the March 26th. We were going to talk about the eclipse. But I have a sound healer who I found on YouTube and TikTok. He's coming on the 26th. That's just on this Wednesday. I just did an episode on Friday with someone else who has a spiritual podcast. They're pretty cool. It's a cool way to just expand and get my little mushroom fingers out there. This look at this like wide angle camera. Look how long my fingers look. Jess, I see your donation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm not sure when I'm going to be back on Insight Timer. I think it'd be great if I could do a session when I'm in Peru, but I can't promise anything. That's what I'm embracing about myself these days, is I am way too chaotic and I need that freedom to be me. So I cannot tell you guys what's coming. So, I mean, sorry, but that's me projecting. I can't do it. That's not who I am. Carrie, so what was it? 2 days ago on Saturday, I was in Greg Phillips live on Insight Timer. Greg Phillips, he was one of my students and now he is his own Insight Timer teacher, and he was giving messages from the heart. And I was there in his session and he was channeling his collective. And there's also Rev J, who again was one of my students, and now she has her own Insight Timer profile, teacher profile, and she also channels a collective. So they were discussing how cool it would be if the two of them could be channeling at the same time. And then Greg said, well, we're gonna need a host. So I volunteered as tribute. We don't have anything on the schedule yet. Rev's in the middle of a move. So we are gonna get together, I think at the end of the week, to discuss potential dates so that I can interview and I can fuel your questions to their channeling collectives. So Carrie's one of my students and now she's channeling also. That's awesome. See guys, you don't have to try. You don't have to try. I haven't tried to tell people to go be Insight Timer teachers. I'm just being myself. I'm not efforting to do that. And look at all the beautiful change that's happening. Look at all the ways that people's lives are getting better. I'm saying this because you get to do what you want to do, and you can make a positive impact just by being yourself, just by following your freedom. Leading by example is the strongest way to influence people. All right, I gotta go. So nice to see you guys. I will be back at some point. Thank you everybody for watching. I don't